Let's take back our city, one vaccination at a time. Safe and effective COVID-19 vaccines are here. Get yours when it's your turn. Learn more at nyc.gov/COVID vaccine. No matter how much we want it gone, COVID-19 is still here. That's why we all need to keep wearing our face coverings, keep physical distancing, and keep washing our hands. And as always, stay at home if you're feeling sick. The COVID-19 vaccine is available to certain groups in NYC, but now is not the time to stop protecting ourselves. Learn more at nyc.gov/health/coronavirus.
Hello, everybody. My name is Charles Rice Gonzalez, and I want to welcome you to the Postal Center for the Arts and Culture. Tonight, we're presenting a wonderful collaboration that we have had for many years now with the CUNY Dance Initiative, and we are presenting the VashtiDance Theater. It was founded by Fatima Logan Austin, and it exists to uplift and empower inspire also and educate our community through dance, music, and performances, workshops, and events that demonstrate exceptional artistry and quality educational instruction. Vashti dance is inspired by the two meanings of the name Vashti, beautiful, and thread. So it blends the vernacular and the classical to create a contemporary perspective that is genuine and authentic. And they've been doing this since 2011. So this is their 10th year anniversary. Today, we are presenting a workshop and lecture demonstration that's going to be a practical exploration of the process of contemporary dance study and performance from the perspective of contemporary African and African diasporic traditions. So the workshop component will explore the practice of the VashtiDance Theater technique and immerse the participant in the combination of dance skills that inform our contemporary practice, the company's practice. So the lecture that part will illustrate the process from the skills, practice, and study to how they are organized and presented in performance. So we're going to experience that today. And all arts, we're glad that we're coming back, whether we're continuing online and back into our theaters as we prepare for later this year, next year. But we do this through support. So tonight's event of the VashtiDance Theater's residency at Oslo Center for the Arts and Culture is part of the CUNY Dance Initiative, which receives major support from the Howard Gilman Foundation, the Mertz Gilmer Foundation. Additional support is provided by the Jerome Robbins Foundation, the SHS Foundation, the Harkness Foundation, and an award from the National Endowment for the Arts. CDI is part of the Dance NYC's New York City Dance Rehearsal Space subsidy program made possible by the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation. CDI is spearheaded and administered by the Kupferberg Center for the Arts at Queens College. So lots of support, lots of wonderful people that help put this together. So now please enjoy VashtiDance Theater's lecture demonstration.
Welcome. I am Fatima Logan Alston. I am the Artistic Director of VashtiDance Theater, and we are happy to join you all and have you join us for a workshop and lecture demonstration. In this program, we will go through the process of our practice in contemporary dance that we do to reinforce the inspiration and the skill within ourselves to then share and inspire our audiences, our community, through music and dance. Here with us today are our musician and musical director, Brother David Alston, our artists who are participating today are Janae, Subasa, and Rainique. We'd like you to think of us as part of the family community. We're going to engage first in a workshop. We will go through it piece by piece, follow along, enjoy yourself, and enjoy the experience. So first, we always start with a warm-up. The warm-up gets our body ready, both in terms of listening to the rhythm, listening to our bodies, and also preparing our muscles. Let's start on the floor first. We can start cross-legged. Let's come to standing and let's continue our warm-up. We'll start with just 4 shoulder rolls that descend, 2 single arm circles, both arms around, and a releve or rise. Circle the arms, and then really connecting the center of your knee to the center of your foot. Lengthen your hips back and sit down. And stand up, repeat. This time stay there. Press the arms back twice. Circle the arms 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 2 claps on releve. 1, 2, 3. 2 claps on releve. Same thing with both arms. Then from here, we'll do a series of isolations 4 times. At the heart 4 times. Tilting 4 times. And then stepping out and in 4 times. Then we'll repeat the whole thing on the left side. The goal of all of this is just to connect your awareness to the different parts of your body and especially the rhythm. The rhythm, the music guides us through this whole process as we warm up together. Okay, here we go. So our warm-up is part of how we get ourselves prepared every day that we come to rehearsal, every performance. It becomes a natural part of our practice. And the goal of it, besides loosening up the body, is also getting the mind attuned to the patterns. So our next section of warm-up is a little bit about directions and patterns. So we step forward on the right, left leg up, step back on the left, right leg up. Step right, left leg up, step left. Now, touch back, touch back. Now, when we touch back, keep the weight forward and just let the foot touch. So there are 3 types of weight shifts we practice all the time because they'll come up in our contemporary practice. One is just the touch, where your foot just simply touches the floor. Then there's a step. You do it all the time, to the subway, to the car, you shift the weight. And then there's the fall. You're standing still, and you're gonna shift the weight, and the other leg will come up. So we're exploring these in this exercise. Back to the beginning for the pattern. Front, back, side, side, touch, back, back. And then we have a little bit practice and level. Low, 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 around. Other side. Forward, this way. Touch back, and low, low, and again. Yeah? Here we go. So, getting us closer into the warm-up process, okay? We're going to take a series that's going to combine us using momentum, which is very essential in practices that have African diasporic roots. The use of weight, gravity, and then momentum to create flow. This next series is all about that. So we'll swing, right? Swing and a touch. Swing, touch the back foot, swing, touch the back foot, swing, touch the back foot. Remaining in plie with the knees bent. Release the torso from the hips. Circle around the side. Swing, 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 release, around. Now, once we've done both sides, we're going to take that release with straight legs. Swing, 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 straight legs, swing, 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 straight legs. At the end of that, we're going to stretch to the right, take just a little sail around. Swing the leg, 1, 2, 3, 4. Stretch to the other side, sail around. Oops, that's not the other side. Stretch to the other side, sail around. Swing, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, remember I told you we're like family. So first side, right, stretch to the right, right leg is going to swing. Next time, stretch with the left side, left leg is going to swing. This next one is a favorite of mine. So we start with our thumb side and we open, progressively getting higher 4 times. Then we step towards that leg and we do a figure 8 with the arm, high arcing down, low, then arcing over 4 times. After 4 times, it's like we're going to do a flick. Send arms and leg to the diagonal, back, knee high, arms around, and lengthening the right arm, turn, little extension, 3 steps, chase the tail, so foot arrives first, and we come together. We're going to repeat that sequence, but before we do, a little balance. 3 times we stretch our ankle, 1, just to the big toe, 2, 3. Then a little higher, and carry it around to the back and close. Same thing on the other side. Carry it around to the back, just to balance, close. Same thing. Thumb side leads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shifting to the left. 2, 3, 4. Gather, flick. Knee, arm circle, left arm high on the turn. Step, kick, 3 steps. Chase the heel around. And then we'll repeat the same pattern. 1, 2, 3, tendus to the front, carry the leg to the back. 1, 2, 3, tendus to the front, carry the leg to the back. Stop. This one is a long one, but see if you can find the flow and move along with us. Brother David, can we have a 6/8 for this one? Thank you, sir. One more. We start with the pinky side and reverse the whole idea. In, 2, 3, 4. This time step to the left with the right arm. 2, 3, 4. Step kick to the same corner. Knee high to the same corner. Right arm is high again. Step, extend the right leg again. 3 steps to the back. Turn, down. And then we're going to come to first position. So as best as we can, we lengthen our legs long, bring our heels together, and rotate our legs. From the beginning of warm-up, we bring our elbows in, bend our knees, curve our back, pull forward. Stretch the arms and legs, and come back together. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. In, out, in, out. Kick to the same corner. Left arm is high. Step, kick, 3 steps. Turn around to the back. Come wider to what's second position. Same idea with wider legs. Pull in, pull forward, stretch up, bend the knees, straighten, and finish. Here we go again. 6, 8. We're going to continue with one more variation on that idea. The purpose of this exercise, besides to warm up our shoulders, is to also get us in first and second position pliés to warm up our hips and ankles. So this time we'll start with the right hand going in, then out, then in, then out. Stepping to the left with the right arm. 2, 3, kick to the same direction, flicking arms and legs, circle back, lift the knee. Right arm is high on the turn. Step, extend the right leg, step to the back, turn back, bring the body down and forward, and then bring your heels together under your center belly button, and we take first position demi-pliés. Bring the elbows in, curve the body forward, and press the floor away. Stand up tall, release, start the left side. In, 2, 3, 4. Left arm goes to the right this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick to the right, step back, circle back, turn with the left arm high. The left leg extends. Step 3 steps to the back, chase the tail, heel leads first. Come to the center, forward, down. This time come to second position. So legs are turned out, but legs are wider. Knees are going out over your feet, elbows in, round the body forward. Stand up tall, bend the knees again, shift, and we finish. Okay, here we go. Now we'll move to our center portion where we'll study choreography in a variation of a traditional dance called kakilambe. Kakilambe is done to celebrate an agricultural harvest, but it also relies within a special category of dances that is traditionally done once every 7 years. However, we are going to utilize it to focus on flow, level changing, and also a sense of rhythmical connection. Our first step for kakilambe. So we start forward on the right leg, step together, and we fall back with the left. Left together, left together. This first step that we're using also tells a story, oftentimes, but not always. The dances that we are doing, which have their roots in the continent of Africa, in Akebulan, which was its original name, often tell the story of the people and of the dance. This first one pretty much says, you reap what you sow. Going forward, you plant seeds into the earth. Going back, you pull up the harvest. Before we start to practice, though, it's very important we listen to our rhythm and our break for kakilambe. Thank you. The rhythm of kakilambe really directs you on the steps, but especially the break, the rhythmical signal that tells you to stop, start, or change. This is the break for kakilambe. Right at that last note is when you would go. One more time. All right, let's practice this step with the break, but reminder, the pattern is 2 to the front, change the palms, 2 to the back. We plant in to the earth, we pull back from the earth. Okay, we can even translate that. We plant into ourselves, invest into ourselves and our community, and we reap from it. Let's try kakilambe at the break, please. Thank you. So a reminder, the break also tells us to stop. It tells us to start, to change, and to stop. Our second step we're going to do today for kakilambe is symbolic of gathering. So we have our knees bent, our body is forward, and we're grounded and connected. We shift side to side. Shift, shift. Now here comes that fall. You're going to shift your body first and then tap the foot. Shift, tap, shift, tap. The hands are gathering into the heart. As much as you want to gather, you're also grateful. And ever so slightly, the wrist flicks in towards the center of the chest, and you shift side to side. Let's listen to the break for this one. Timing of the shift. Timing of the arms. So for this step, we want to get low and shift on an incline. Let's take the first step after the first break and then move to the second step at the break. Following break, we'll stop. So we're really working on listening to our rhythm in this part of the center work. Next, this one has a pattern. The pattern goes touch, step, step, step. Touch, step, step, step. Touch, step, 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 touch, step, step, step. Let's try just the footwork with that pattern and the rhythm. Arm patterns. Swing up to the sky, open, other side, up, open, up, open, up. Let's add the feet. Up, open, up, open, up, open, up, rest. Let's try the rhythm. Let's try it from the beginning. 1, 2, 3. Now, just to travel a little bit, move through the space, our last one will have us travel a little bit to the left. And essentially, it's a jump. Part of that is to demonstrate the celebration in Kakilambe. So, we're going to start with the right leg going to the left, and we go jump, land, and you're going to do a little turn, right? Jump, turn, jump, turn, jump, turn. Then we're going to finish off the rest of that section or phrasing of the rhythm until the break with what I like to call raindrop or quick feet. So then, stepping percussively with the rhythm, Brother David and I will demonstrate now. We're going to increase the speed and then take it to a turn to finish. And that's how we'll finish the combination for today. Let's try it just from the jumps. 3 jumps, quick feet, turn, jump to finish. always, return ourselves to calm with a cool down. Follow along. With our ending symbol, we always remember that we all share a common rhythm source, our heartbeat, the rhythm of life that is in all of us. And we celebrate that with the music, thank you, Brother David, with the dance, thank you, our artist, and with our community, thank you. So next, we're going to show you a little snippet, a little excerpt of how these ideas are put together in performance of contemporary dance. We are not only repeating the tradition, but commenting and using it to further our understanding of how we inspire ourselves as artists to then inspire our community and one another. Kakilambe will be the dance that we use as a vehicle to connect the traditional and the contemporary momentarily. It has been our pleasure to share with you the traditions and the contemporary perspectives that are dear to us, that inspire us and infuse us with new energy to continue to uplift and inspire one another and our community through music and dance. Please continue your journey in your study of art history and artistic practice. Follow us on Facebook. Find us at our website at www.VashtiDanceTheater.com. Stay in touch and continue growing and inspiring one another. Again, I'm Fatima Logan, Artistic Director of VashtiDance Theater. And this is Brother David Austin, Musical and Executive Director of VashtiDance Theater. Thank you all so much. Be well.
Hello, everybody. Well, if we were in the theater, we'd be applauding. The wonderful thing. Fatima, so great to see you.
Thank you. Thank you, likewise. So great to see you too.
Yeah, excellent. Well, congratulations. You gave us, you took us on a journey today. I think a beautiful journey in terms of how you were explaining a lot of the movements in the kind of warm up in the workshop in the beginning of it, and then seeing how it manifested itself in the dance. So I'm gonna start like with a question, like an early question, like of all the dance forms, why do you do this one?
That's a wonderful question. One of the reasons that I intentionally blend in contemporary dance is because it gives us access, especially as people who are interacting with people of diverse backgrounds all the time. It gives us an open platform of much more vernacular movement to be able to express some of the specifics of our current experiences. So I love the combination of having the infusion of the traditional, what has been passed down, what roots us, what gives us connection to our ancestry, but then also an opportunity to comment on that experience and to pass that comment on to the next generation. So as much as we're always respectful of the tradition, we're also mindful that the purpose of the tradition is to uplift and inspire the people who experience it, and not just completely to pass it down. So it's one of the reasons I chose contemporary as a way to blend experiences and to then share that with others.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like an important part, because I think you said Brother Austin.
Yes, this is Brother Austin.
How you doing? In the, here with us. So I think an important component, I think that you were talking about was the drumming, right? That was important to it. So speak maybe a little more to someone who doesn't know, like the connection between the movement and the drums and the beats.
Sure. That's one of the reasons we are always, as much as possible, which is we're pretty insistent about having live music, because the music and the dance respond to one another. I remember long ago, in one of my very first traditional classes, my instructor, Sister Faye Walker, who actually unfortunately has passed recently, would say, the first rhythm we hear is the heartbeat of our mothers. The first thing we hear is the heartbeat. And so rhythm is an important part of just our life, whether we're conscious of it or not. Every movement has a rhythm to it. Our bodies always breathe and work in rhythm. And so rhythm then is an essential part of us telling our story, because we exist in that. Brother Austin, you want to add any more about the rhythm and its
yes. We like to use a term that we adapted actually from East African culture called Ngoma. And that term pretty much is the meaning of music and dance as one. It's not looked at as two separate disciplines. It's almost like if you think of a coin, you have the head side and the tail side, but at the end of the day, it's one coin. So we always try to stay true to that, even though, we put our own voices in the traditional and to make it our own, but we still try to keep that connection to the history of it.
So interesting during the workshop. That was helpful to do that. I mean, he said something really beautiful toward the end of when you were all together, saying, you know, that the heartbeat connects something rhythm we all have is a heartbeat, right? And earlier you just said about, you know, one of the first rhythms we hear is the heartbeat of our mothers when we're in the womb. During the workshop part, it's very clear the relationship between for me the drumming and the movement. So what is happening in when you're in performance, right? When you're in performance and the drum is going, because they're totally seem in sync. But there's a different, like, is there a different brain when you're in performance than when you're in the classroom workshop, and the connection to the rhythm and the drums?
Again, I love these questions. I think that's an excellent question. I think you know, it changes, sorry, during your journey through dance, it changes. So I think at some point, sometimes in class, your relationship to the rhythm is different because, you know, you're processing the material, you're working on your technique. So your mind is a little bit more analytical and probably a lot more relaxed. You know, people aren't watching you the same way in a class. And I think as you progress and continue the journey, you start to bring that consciousness into your performance where the music is guiding you. You know, honestly speaking, especially for dancers who kind of come to traditional dance after more classical training, the lack of counting drives them crazy at first. You start and you stop on the break. The music is guiding you. Start when it goes and you stop when it stops. But ultimately in performance, it becomes a way to really focus in then on the theme of the dance, you know, because you're following the sequence that is then set between the choreographer and the musical composer. The framework of that is always there for you. And so for me, it gives you more opportunity to dive into your expression because you really have a framework there for you audibly.
So with the talking about the theme of the dance, so you showed us a little bit, a snippet, you said, of this piece. So tell us more about that piece. And then, I mean, you know, from watching, I love when you were talking the description, when you were giving the description of the movements, like, you know, the sowing, you know, and the reaping, you know, and the harvesting. And then we see this piece where you have, you know, it looked like they were carrying baskets. And all the movement with that, and then the figure that came in and did all that dynamic movement. So maybe you can talk about the piece and then, you know, these elements that I'm picking up from the snippet.
Okay, sure. So this is a contemporary variation of what is a traditional dance, Kakilambe. Kakilambe is rooted in West Africa of the Baga ethnic group of people. So West Africa now is divided by countries, but at one point in the 13th and 14th century, they were more divided by ethnic groups and empires, groupings of families that ruled together. And so this is a dance that has been passed down generation by generation. And this is a dance that actually is a masked dance. Generally, the masked person is, their identity is secret to everyone in the village except for the elders. So you may not know who the Kakilambe is, but it is a very sacred dance that is done to build the morale of the community, and it is connected to harvest. They are an agricultural people, so their economy, their life depends on their agricultural success, okay? And so Kakilambe, even though it has that agricultural connection, tends to have an energy of building people together and building morale. And in our variation of it, we decided to, in a sense, pay respect to the tradition by not copying it exactly, but definitely staying within the framework of what is the language of a dance. So I find that a lot in this work, finding the language of the dance. What is the message theme of this dance? And then if you're going to comment on it, make sure you stay within that language frame. And the use of the baskets and the raffia, which is dried grass, all relate to the agricultural concept harvesting and relate to its origins. And then our choices in terms of, costuming, we're not wearing a traditional lapa, but dabas or harem pants. These choices are to help us with the contemporary variations where we're, exploring where can we turn here, where can we kick here, how can we infuse our experiences in this tradition and keep it relevant. Not that it would be irrelevant, but keep it closer to our heart by putting more of ourselves into it. So those are some of the choices in terms of, the baskets and the raffia and that incorporation in this excerpt.
Mhm. So the full piece, it's you saying that it's going to be the whole Kakilambe piece?
So what I'm saying is this is a variation of what is Kakilambe. Now, often when we're not in our recovering from COVID world and we have longer performances, this may exist alongside more contemporary work, and it may be as like a reflection on and then progressing forward with new ideas. So that's why it's an excerpt, because it would not necessarily stand alone, except perhaps an lecture demonstration where we are, kind of unpacking the specifics and then showing you how we got there and then showing you a little bit of it. So you don't have too much material to kind of try to find the symbolism and connection with. So this would be something we would do more in a lecture demonstration, but in a longer work, it would be, the theme of it would be connected to other works to have a bigger kind of statement.
Well, I mean, what you shared was so beautiful and mesmerizing. And, I think one of the things that has been, as much as some folks, and I won't say myself, are like, I can't wait to get back in the theater. Clearly, me too, to see it live. But I'm glad that we do have the opportunity to experience it. And actually, it's interesting what happens when this medium is that we get to see angles that we probably wouldn't be able to see if we were sitting in the theater, right? But so how has it been for you, as both of you as artists during this pandemic time?
It has been definitely a challenge. The uncertainty of it all has really affected us, but we've been moving forward. All you can do is keep moving forward, stay positive, keep doing what you can do to the highest level possible. So that's pretty much what we've been doing, just pushing forward and staying focused until we get back to what I guess we could say our norm. Yeah. You wanna?
Yeah, I think, like you mentioned with the camera angles, it definitely gave us an opportunity to focus on aspects of our practice that, were not as much in the forefront, like finding ways to rehearse virtually, or finding ways to, work on music and dance virtually. So it opened up, I think, possibilities that will help us in the future, because that's, still an option even as we open up in person. But I think that it also has been a really great experience in terms of thinking of what in the artistic practice is dear to you, and what you missed so much from it, as kind of a fire going forward. I missed that. I can't, I can't wait to make sure that I incorporate that with my new skills. So I think that it's been challenging, but also very enlightening.
Yeah, I think it seems like it's offered like an opportunity for expansion, and I love the way you were talking about bringing the contemporary into traditional. Also offers that sense of expansion, like we learn something new, and we learn something new about ourselves. So I know that next week, right, we're going to be experiencing an open rehearsal, right? So could you tell us a little bit about that, and then I'll give you space to say anything else, and then I want to read a comment or two from the Instagram and chat, because this is here, but it's also in other social platforms, and they're popping into the chat. So I'm gonna share some of those.
Okay, great. Thanks. So our open rehearsal, we will be focusing on different work of ours, which is also an excerpt from one of 4 sections of a larger work. The larger work is called The Pearl, but this section is called Down to the River. And it is a piece that is about reconciliation and about moving forward. And we're going to look at the process we go through in terms of working together and building the team together. You know, the team of the music, the team of the costumes, the team of the lights, and just how those different components work together. And then we'll also have some kind of interviews, snippet peek-ins with the dancers and how this experience has been for them, learning the dance, working together in the theater, just a little bit more about their process as artists, as well as, you know, information about that from, you know, myself and David. So this will be a little bit more focused on what it's like to be in the company, to present as a performer, to create and come up with the themes and how that connects to our presentations to the community.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, it's great to see you in the Osto space. You know what I mean? We've been seeing a lot of dance from very different kinds of places, you know, over this pandemic, from people's living rooms and, you know, beautiful things, of course, but it was something beautiful about seeing you on the stage and seeing the space and seeing the lights and seeing the dancers being able to, you know, have such the freedom and the space to move. So thank you for that. I'm looking forward to next week and seeing more of your work and getting deeper and closer. In the chat, I just want to say that Pat Mabry, who we know is another amazing, wonderful dancer and performer, says, "Hi, Fatima and VashtiDance. It is so good to see your company. Hope all is well and keep dancing." So a beautiful message from a person in the field, a comrade in the field. So, so we want to thank you both for your time. We want to thank you both for your artistry and for being with us at Ostos. And we look forward to next weekend and to lots more. And if you want to have any final words for our viewers or for our recording, and let us know. And
I just want to say it's been such a pleasure, and we look forward to next week as well.
I second that. Thanks everyone for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
yeah, well, thanks everybody for joining us. And we thank the great Alyssa Alpine from the CUNY Dance Initiative, who keeps the program going with her team and her support. And we continue. And so on behalf of all the folks here at Osto Center, you know, Felix and Greg and the whole team behind the cameras, we really thank you for joining us today. And we look forward to you joining us this weekend, because there's lots of things happening. You'll see on the slides coming up, in addition to VashtiDance coming back next Tuesday. But between now and then, there's lots of other things happening at Osto Center. So please tune in. Thank you.